Marriage. It's a word loaded with cultural, societal, and personal expectations. We grow up surrounded by images of blissful couples, fairy tale weddings, and the promise of happily ever after. But beneath the surface of these romantic ideals lies a stark reality. Choosing a life partner is one of the most consequential decisions a man will ever make. It's a decision that will impact every facet of his life, his happiness, his health, his career, and his legacy. The weight of this decision is often underestimated, especially by young men. Society, media, and even well-meaning friends and family can perpetuate harmful narratives about what constitutes a good wife. These narratives often focus on external attributes, neglecting the deeper, more fundamental qualities that contribute to a strong and lasting partnership. The choice of a life partner should be approached with the utmost care, consideration, and wisdom. The fairy tales we are told as children often paint an unrealistic picture of marriage. They end at the altar, leaving out the daily grind, the disagreements, the financial stresses, and the compromises that come with building a life together. This idealized version of marriage sets men up for disappointment when reality inevitably falls short of the fantasy. Marriage is not about finding someone to complete you. It's about finding someone who complements you, challenges you to grow, and stands by your side through life's inevitable storms. It's about two individuals, each with their own strengths and weaknesses, choosing to navigate the world together. This requires open communication, empathy, a willingness to compromise, and a shared vision for the future. Many men stumble into marriage without fully grasping these realities. They may be driven by societal pressures to conform, a biological urge to procreate, or a fear of being alone. Choosing a wife based on external pressures or fleeting desires is a recipe for disaster. A man in search of a wife must first understand his own purpose. What are his values? What are his goals? What kind of life does he envision for himself? These are not questions to be taken lightly. They are the very foundation upon which he will build his future. Once a man has a firm grasp of his own identity and aspirations, he can begin to look for a partner who aligns with his vision. This is not about finding a woman who is a carbon copy of himself. It's about finding someone who shares his core values, respects his ambitions, and supports his journey. A woman who challenges him to be a better man, who inspires him to reach his full potential. This process of self-discovery and partner selection requires courage. It requires a man to be honest with himself about his flaws and insecurities. A strong marriage can be a source of immense strength, joy, and fulfillment.
It's no secret that men are visual creatures. We are drawn to beauty, captivated by a pretty face or a striking figure. There's nothing inherently wrong with appreciating physical attractiveness, but it becomes a dangerous trap when it's the primary factor in choosing a wife. Beauty, after all, is fleeting. Time, stress, and the natural course of life have a way of altering even the most stunning appearances. What happens then when the initial spark of attraction fades and the woman before you is no longer the image that first captured your eye? Many men make the mistake of equating physical beauty with value. They build their entire perception of a woman around her appearance, neglecting to look deeper, to see the person beneath the surface. They become fixated on an idealized image, failing to recognize that true beauty lies in character, in kindness, in intelligence, in a shared sense of humor. This isn't about dismissing the importance of physical attraction altogether. It's about understanding that attraction should be a spark, not the entire fire. In a world obsessed with success, it's easy for a man to be drawn to a woman who embodies the trappings of status. A high-paying job, a glamorous social circle, a designer wardrobe. These outward signs of achievement can be intoxicating, creating an illusion of compatibility and shared ambition. The allure of such a lifestyle can be powerful, often blinding one to deeper, more meaningful qualities. But a man must ask himself, am I attracted to this woman, or am I attracted to what she represents? Is it her true self that captivates me, or merely the image she projects? Am I seeking a genuine partner, or am I seeking validation through association? These are crucial questions that can determine the foundation of a relationship. The pursuit of status can be a hollow and lonely one, especially when it comes at the expense of genuine connection. The glitter of success can often mask the emptiness within. A woman who defines herself solely by her accomplishments may lack the depth and empathy needed to foster a truly intimate relationship. Without emotional connection, success feels empty. The pressure to maintain a certain image, to constantly strive for more, can create a rift between partners, leaving little room for vulnerability, authenticity, and the simple joys of shared experience. The constant chase can erode the very essence of togetherness. True success in marriage isn't measured by the size of your bank account or the prestige of your social circle. It's about the moments of genuine connection and mutual respect. It's measured by the quality of your relationship, the strength of your bond, the unwavering support you provide each other through life's triumphs and tribulations. This is the real essence of a successful partnership. Choosing a wife based solely on her perceived status is like chasing a mirage in the desert. It may seem real and promising from afar, but up close it vanishes, leaving you lost and unfulfilled.
Sometimes, men make the mistake of seeking a partner who will rescue them from their own unhappiness. They project their unmet needs, their insecurities, their unresolved traumas onto the women they date, hoping to find someone who will magically fix them, who will make their problems disappear. This desire for escapism can manifest in choosing a woman who is overly nurturing, overly accommodating, or overly dependent, creating an unhealthy dynamic where one partner becomes the savior and the other the perpetual project. The truth is, no one can save us from ourselves. True happiness and fulfillment come from within, from confronting our own demons, from doing the difficult work of self-reflection and personal growth. Seeking a partner as a form of escapism is not only unfair to the woman involved, but also ultimately self-sabotaging. It prevents us from addressing our own issues, from becoming whole and complete individuals capable of engaging in a healthy and balanced relationship. A strong and lasting marriage requires two individuals who are whole and complete on their own.
Imagine building a house. You wouldn't erect walls on a foundation of sand, would you? You'd need something solid, something that can withstand the storms. Marriage is much the same. It requires a strong foundation, and that foundation is built on shared values. What are values? They're the guiding principles that shape your life, your beliefs about what's right and wrong, important and unimportant. They influence your decisions, your goals, how you interact with the world. Now think about your partner. Do your values align? Do you share similar beliefs about family, religion, work ethic, personal growth? These are not small considerations. Shared values create a sense of unity, a common ground from which you can navigate life's complexities. When your core beliefs align, you're more likely to approach challenges with a united front, to understand each other's perspectives, and to make decisions that are mutually beneficial. This doesn't mean you have to agree on everything. Differences are inevitable, and healthy disagreements can actually strengthen a relationship. But when your fundamental values are in sync, you're equipped to navigate those differences with respect, understanding, and a shared commitment to finding solutions that work for both of you. We often talk about intelligence in terms of IQ, but when it comes to building a successful and fulfilling relationship, emotional intelligence, EQ, is equally, if not more, important. EQ encompasses a range of skills, including self-awareness, empathy, communication, and emotional regulation. It's about understanding and managing your own emotions while also being attuned to the emotions of your partner. Think back to the last time you had a disagreement. Were you able to articulate your feelings clearly and respectfully? Were you able to listen to your partner's perspective without becoming defensive or dismissive? Could you find a compromise that met both of your needs? These are all hallmarks of emotional intelligence. In a relationship, emotional intelligence is the bridge that connects two hearts. It allows for open and honest communication, for empathy and understanding, for the ability to navigate conflict without resorting to blame, criticism, or contempt. Look for a partner who demonstrates emotional maturity, who can communicate her feelings effectively, who listens with an open mind, and who is willing to work through challenges collaboratively.
Navigating conflict, from disagreement to deeper understanding. Conflict is an inherent part of any relationship. It's impossible to navigate life with another person without encountering differences of opinion, unmet needs, and moments of frustration. The key to a successful and lasting partnership lies not in avoiding conflict, but in learning how to navigate it constructively. How do you handle disagreements? Do you shut down, withdraw, or become defensive? Do you lash out, blame, or try to control the situation? Or are you able to approach conflict as an opportunity for growth, for deeper understanding, for strengthening the bond you share with your partner? Healthy conflict resolution involves active listening, empathy, and a willingness to compromise. It's about expressing your own needs and feelings clearly and respectfully, while also making space to hear and understand your partner's perspective. It's about finding solutions that work for both of you, even if it means setting aside your ego and embracing flexibility. Look for a partner who can engage in conflict constructively, who can disagree without being disrespectful, who is willing to listen and learn from your perspective. Remember, the goal is not to win the argument, but to strengthen your connection and find solutions that honor the needs and feelings of both partners. Red flags. Recognizing warning signs and choosing wisely. Love can be intoxicating, clouding our judgment and making it easy to overlook red flags, those subtle, or not so subtle, warning signs that something isn't quite right. These signs can often be masked by the initial excitement and passion of a new relationship. It's crucial to approach relationships with a healthy dose of discernment, to pay attention not only to the good times, but also to how your partner behaves under stress, how she treats others, and how she handles disagreements. Observing these behaviors can provide valuable insights into the true nature of your relationship. What are some red flags to watch out for? A lack of respect for your boundaries, a pattern of dishonesty or manipulation, a tendency to blame others for their problems, difficulty managing anger or frustration, a history of unhealthy relationships, controlling or possessive behavior, and a lack of empathy or compassion. It's important to remember that red flags are not about finding reasons to end a relationship, but rather about approaching love with open eyes and a willingness to acknowledge potential incompatibilities. Recognizing these signs early can save you from future heartache. Sometimes, red flags can be addressed through open communication, therapy, or a willingness to grow and change. It's about both partners being committed to working through issues together. However, if you notice consistent patterns of unhealthy behavior or a refusal to acknowledge and address these issues, it may be a sign that this relationship is not the right fit for you. It's essential to prioritize your well-being and emotional health. Choosing a life partner is a decision that should not be taken lightly. It requires careful consideration and self-awareness. It's about finding someone who not only brings joy and companionship, but also aligns with your values, respects your boundaries, and enhances your life in meaningful and lasting ways. A healthy relationship should uplift and support you, making you feel valued and loved.
We often talk about love as a purely emotional experience, but our intuition plays an equally important role in navigating matters of the heart, guiding us in ways we might not always understand. That inner voice, that gut feeling, can be a powerful guide, steering us towards relationships that nurture our souls and away from those that may lead to heartache and disappointment, even when logic might suggest otherwise. Have you ever met someone and felt an instant connection? A sense of knowing that this person was special, almost as if you had known them forever. Conversely, have you ever had a nagging doubt, a feeling deep down that something wasn't quite right, even if you couldn't quite put your finger on it, a sense of unease that lingered? These are all whispers of intuition, guiding us towards or away from potential partners, helping us navigate the complex landscape of love. Our intuition is often subtler than our logical minds, speaking in a language that is more about feeling than thinking. It speaks to us through feelings, through hunches, through a deep knowing that transcends rational explanation, urging us to pay attention. Learning to trust our intuition requires quieting the noise of external expectations, societal pressures, and the desire to please others, which can often cloud our judgment. It requires creating space for stillness, for listening to the whispers of our hearts, and for tuning into our inner wisdom. If you find yourself constantly questioning a relationship, if your gut is telling you that something isn't right, pay attention to those signals. Don't dismiss those feelings or try to rationalize them away, as they are often trying to tell you something important. Explore them, sit with them, and allow them to guide you towards a decision that aligns with your deepest needs and desires, ensuring that your path in love is true to who you are. Choosing a wife is not a destination, but a journey. It's a journey of self-discovery, of understanding your own values and aspirations, of confronting your fears and insecurities. It's about learning to differentiate between superficial desires and the qualities that truly matter in a life partner. This journey requires courage, the courage to be honest with yourself, the courage to be vulnerable, and the courage to trust your own judgment, even when it goes against societal expectations or the advice of others. Don't be afraid to take your time. Don't be afraid to walk away from relationships that don't serve you. Don't be afraid to be alone with yourself, to get to know yourself deeply and honestly. The more comfortable you are in your own skin, the more equipped you'll be to choose a partner who complements you, challenges you, and supports your growth. Remember, You are not defined by your relationship status. Your worth as a man is not contingent upon finding a wife. You are valuable and worthy of love and belonging, regardless of whether you're single or in a relationship. Embrace the journey, learn from your experiences, and trust that the right partner will come into your life at the right time.
Marriage is not a guarantee of happiness. It's not a magical solution to life's problems. It's a commitment, a conscious choice made by two individuals to build a life together, to support each other through thick and thin, and to navigate the inevitable challenges that come with sharing your life with another human being. Building a love that lasts requires effort, patience, and a willingness to grow. It requires open and honest communication, empathy, and a commitment to understanding and meeting each other's needs. It requires a sense of humor, a willingness to forgive, and the ability to let go of petty grievances. Love is not a static state. It's a verb, an action, a choice made every single day to nurture the bond you share with your partner. It's about showing up for each other, even when it's hard. It's about choosing each other again and again through the ups and downs of life.